What's up, Amazon sellers? A new month means another chance to get things right. And that is why in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you my plans for November 2021 for the UK. And I'm going to share some top tips with you about my business, which you can use in yours. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and I've been doing online arbitrage now for the last 4 years. Now, the last 12 months in the UK, we have done over 7 figures selling on Amazon doing online arbitrage, and recently also as well just started in Amazon USA. Now, hopefully we're going to expand in the near future into another marketplace, and if you are interested in understanding how I do it and all about my journey, then make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's just going to notify you every time I release a video, which obviously you can learn from as well. Well, first things first, number one, let's give that recap of October 2021. I talked about, should we say, our £1 million target over the next 3 months, Q4 in our UK business. Now, the original target was 300,000 for October and November, and then we were looking about 400,000 for December. Although what we have done now is we revised it slightly, and instead of making it, should we say, what I just said, it's now going to be 250,000 for October, 350,000 for November, and then still sticking with 400,000 for December. So quite a big December there. Now, basically what we're looking to achieve is a £1 million worth of revenue, so 7 figures over a 3-month period. So we're still going to aim to achieve that, but we have tweaked the value slightly to kind of, should we say, make it a bit more aligned with how we think the revenue is going to fall. So that's a bit of an update in there. Now, to add to that, currently we're hitting the target, or actually we're exceeding that target of 250,000. So we are off to a flying start. I know. Hashtag excited, and that's the October period. Now, the funny thing is when we wrote these targets, we wrote them originally and then we tweaked them to obviously what I just said. So October, we tweaked it from about 300 down to 250. But you know what? My team have been on fire, and I think possibly coming up to the end of October, we might very nearly touch a 300 magical number. Don't quote me, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, but my team are absolutely smashing it. So we could be off to an absolute flying start for the Q4 period. I know, crazy, right? Hashtag excited. I also mentioned previously in my previous video that, should I say, my senior operations manager is going to communicate with suppliers and work with them. You know, that is just to help us get better deals, better discounts, and obviously work with our suppliers to build a relationship. Now, should we say, one part of this as well is also the added requirements of, you know, the toys and games category. You know, they are, should we say, we're getting problems with that, whereby we're getting declaration of conformity requests. Not huge, but my senior operations manager is building, should we say, that communication with, you know, the suppliers, the retailers, and what's going on, and should we say, wholesalers potentially looking to purchase from them to see if we can contact with them to get better buying. So that's something that he's doing, which is making a big difference, and obviously we're looking to continue into next year as well. So last month, what did he do? Well, quite simply, he reached out to different suppliers and sent out the application forms and started creating new accounts for wholesalers. Because what happens is we want to be able to see if we can be bulk buying from wholesalers now, but also maybe into the next year. So not just looking at the online arbitrage world, but also maybe looking at, can we supplement what the great deals we're buying in online arbitrage with maybe wholesale as well, to see, once we found a good deal, can we rebuy that deal from wholesale as well? So he's working on that, and you know, I'm really assisting him in that process. Now, I also talked about, should we say, us testing sourcing on the weekends. This is something that maybe you might be thinking about, and you know, the idea of sourcing on the weekends is because my team said that there were many promotions and sales that were during the weekend. And what I will say is that although, should we say, we thought that happened, we didn't actually push through it with our team, because instead of working on weekends, we asked for the best performance we could get during the weekdays, and to see if the team could do that so they can have a rest on the weekends. And what are we seeing? Well, quite simply, we are seeing that our team are bringing about 6,000, even higher than that, even up to sometimes maybe 10,000 and above pounds worth of deals every single day during the weekdays. And we're like, well, actually, we're smashing the business during the weekdays right now. Let's continue with that. And if the team think they can do it, possibly we'll do it. But right now, something's working in the weekdays. Let's keep doing that. Now, the other thing which I'll say also about working weekends is, like, I don't know about you, but for me, I quite enjoy having the weekends off, and, everyone else is. So, yeah, I think about us is that having a team which they have balance in their life and they understand that sometimes we might work weekends, but maybe it's the case that there should be a need for it and we need to prove that it's way more effective than working on weekdays. So for us, with our new our schedule, what we are looking at, instead of doing kind of weekdays and weekends, we're now looking at shifting them to having like morning shift, mid shift, and evening, night shift, so that we're continuously sourcing deals Monday through to Friday. And we're just going to manage to see how that works, to see if we can make sure we hit that 7-figure target during that Q4 period. It's going to be absolutely game changing. And you know what? I'm so grateful to have such an amazing team which can help me understand what is going on in the sourcing marketplace to help find great deals. Absolutely amazing. Question for you guys: how did your October plans go? I mean, did you even write plans, or did you achieve your goals? Let me know in the comments down below. Drop a yes or a no, or even, hey, let me know what successes you had. Like, hopefully you planned something, you're aiming high, aiming big. I want to hear what is working in your business. Let us know what you've achieved in October. This is your chance to share with us how well you're smashing it. Drop it in the comments down below. Right, this leads me nicely on to chapter number 2, and that is my plans for November 2021. Well, look, first things first is, what are we looking to do? Well, quite simply, is continue our goal for that 1 million in revenue over the Q4 period. Now, to achieve that goal, in 3 months is a big challenge, but we're also looking at, can we drive our margins well? Why? Because our margin at the end of the day is something which is going to generate us more profits. And if we can increase our margin by even 1 or 2 percentage points, that's going to have a great impact. First things first, we are looking to drive the revenue first, but also as well, if we can drive margin, that is going to be really beneficial. Now, one of the things we can do to support the driving of that margin is to remove, old inventory where it's not working really well, and go source deals where a higher gross profit. Because what we've seen is just that margin has dropped down in those products. So they are aiming for, they're just a lower margin items because the market has changed. So while we want to clear them out, we're going to take a hit. What we will do is also go back into the marketplace, find better deals with a higher margin. Okay, so the one thing to think about with margin is just by driving even like a 2 percentage points increase in your margin has a profound impact. Now for us, right now we're looking at trying to do maybe even up to £400,000 in 1 month. That's roughly 100,000 a week. And if we can just get a 2 percentage points increase, that's £2,000 worth of extra profit. That's huge. And you know what? I like having an extra £2,000 worth of profit per week. That's an extra 8 grand per month. That is what I like. So being able to try and manage that margin, control it over this Q4 period, maybe even by holding off some stock, it's going to have a big impact and something we're certainly looking at. Okay, so the second thing which we're working on is about cancelled orders. And in particular around this, as we're increasing the volume of purchases, we've gone from like 10,000 a week, 20,000 a week, 40,000 a week. I think now we're probably about 75,000 a week, and that's £75,000 of spend, not revenue, by the way, which is absolutely astronomical. Obviously, what you are seeing is a larger number of orders are getting cancelled because it just statistically it happens. But what we are seeing also as well, that adds up into money that we can't get back. It takes time, or we've got to chase. So a lot of the communication we're having now is about following up on cancelled orders, getting that money back, making sure that we can reinvest it back in. And actually to this side, what we're even looking at long-term wise is increasing the number of administrative VAs, because we are just using so much resource managing these cancelled orders. So something we're doing into November is really trying to get on top of getting that money back for any orders which are not being shipped, cancelled, or what's going on, because that is money we can reinvest into new stock ready for that Q4 period and help us drive that 1 million goal over the Q4 period. Now, the third thing which we're working on is not only, we're worried about cancelled orders, it's actually more about delayed deliveries. I've done a video recently about the HGV problem, the heavy goods vehicles, the lorries, the deliveries. There are logistic problems. It's not too bad. I'm not saying it's like any more than anything else, but what we are seeing is that we have, as we're increasing the spend, we're also seeing that now we've got a lot of goods that are being delayed. If I give you a statistic right now, we've probably got about £10,000 worth of stock, which is overdue by a considerable margin. And for us, that is money which is just sitting there. It's not on sale on Amazon, and obviously it's lost potential sales. And we want to be making sales on Amazon. So what are we doing? Well, we're in November, we are working on fixing delayed deliveries. We are making a real point of being very proactive on chasing down deliveries to see if we can get that stock into our warehouses and shipped to Amazon as quickly as possible, because obviously we want to be getting it sold. Now, the fourth thing which we're doing is working on managing or just resolving what's known as IP, intellectual property complaints. Now, if I give you a quick bit of background, if you're not sure what an IP complaint, basically this is where a brand owner contacts Amazon and issues what's known as an intellectual property complaint for a specific ASIN that we are selling, and they are claiming that as us, we are unlawful sellers and we're using their intellectual property. Now, this can be things like, they do things like parallel import, false goods, and lots of different reasons. Now, generally speaking, Amazon are asked to invoice from the supplier to have prove that you are legitimately able to sell it, and that's the way you get hold of them or get rid of them. Now, quite simply, what I will say is we have seen an increase in them, and while we are managing to resolve them quite well, I think given, like, don't quote me, £250,000 worth of sales per month, we've got 2 IP complaints. We have just seen a lot more of them. So we want to be very proactive in managing them and reducing them down, because it's our account health. We want to make sure that stays green at all times. Now, if you want to learn more about IP complaints, what I will do is drop a link above to a video called What is an IP Claim? Check that out. It's going to help you understand more and also what you can do with it as well. Now, the fifth and the final thing which I'm going to do, and I kind of talked about it earlier, and this is actually real in more detail now, is to hire an additional admin VA. One of them, but also as well, is to hire, or should I say promote, 2 more assistant purchasers. Now, this is about growing my team. Why? Because, my God, there's so much going on in the business and there's so much opportunity. If you look at my revenue graph, it's growing through the roof. And this isn't about today, it's where we'll be in 3 months. So building that team is going to be core to driving this business into 2022. Now, you might be asking, why should we hire another admin VA? Well, look, I think if you think about the numbers that I'm talking about, and I talked about it before, even just from a spend perspective, a year ago, we were probably spending like 10,000 a week. It went to 20, it went to 30, it went to 40, it went to 50. Right now, I think for the last couple of weeks, we've been spending £75,000 on stock a week. That's just crazy. And there's a lot of logistics administration involved with that. You're thinking about managing the logistics from the supplier to the warehouse, within the warehouse itself, and then also from the warehouse to Amazon, within Amazon itself, and also after that, the administration around accounting, invoices, etc., etc. That all adds up. So having another admin VA is really going to support my current admin VA, who actually got like 1.5, is going to really make a difference. So that is going to be a welcome relief to my team. Now, the other thing we're looking at is moving into wholesale into next year. And for that, we are looking that, number one, we're probably going to need someone to do the purchasing, but also as well, we're probably going to need someone to help us purchase more in the UK. Right now, we've got 2 purchasing assistants. They are doing about 40,000 spend each per purchasing assistant, so adding one more will allow us to scale even higher. Now, this is just going to really help my existing purchasing manager and purchasing assistant save time, but also as well help us grow and support their workload. So growing the team into 2022 is going to be super, super important for us. Now, I've just been talking about growing my team into 2022, and you know what? I've seen it time and time again with Amazon sellers. What they understand is that they cannot do this on their own. It's just not possible. There's just not enough hours in the day to grow this business on your own. You do need a team. And if you are thinking about maybe growing a team and hopefully hitting to the 7, let's call it even maybe 8-figure revenue mark, then quite simply, what should you be looking at? Well, in my business and the way we're doing it in my business is by building a team of VAs. And if you are thinking about hiring VAs, what's the first hire you should always do? It should be a sourcing VA. This is someone who goes out there and finds deals, and then you can buy those deals and resell them on Amazon for a profit. Now, if you are interested in a sourcing VA, look no further than FastTrackFBA VA Academy. This is a service I created whereby we find, hire, train, and support a VA in your business for 12 weeks to get results, and we have done it time and time again. Right now, we've placed over 320 VAs with different clients doing Amazon arbitrage, and this is just manual sourcing VAs, not different types, not saying one type of VA. 320 of them we have successfully placed with our clients, and we have over 160 clients in our business. Trust me, it's game changing, and hopefully you can see by the numbers the sheer volume of them, it's actually changed businesses for the better. So if you are interested, have a look down below. You can book in a free 30-minute consultation call and change your business into 2022 as well. Now, this leads me nicely on to chapter number 3, and that's some top tips for you about working on your business and not in your business. Now, you might think you can get things done better and more efficiently than anyone else, and you know what? You're right. You can on your own, but all the time you are spending doing those jobs is time that other people could be doing those jobs for you, running your business, because you know what? You do not need to be doing everything. You can actually have a team doing it for you, and you don't even need to micromanage them. Right now, I think across 3 companies, I have 58 VAs, which is like incredible. And you know what? I live on the other side of the world. So you can be done. And obviously we're growing to 7, or we are 7 figures now in that business. Number 1, don't be a do-it-all. Trust me, when you are running a business, you need to take a step back. You know, you need to get back and think about your business and what you're doing and how you're going forward. Your value isn't doing the work. Your value is in being strategic and making sure that the work is going in the right direction. Again, time is money, and hopefully you really understand that. If you spend all your time in the business doing tasks which should be done by someone else, then you're just going to lack planning, strategies, really driving the business to the future where it needs to go. Now, as an Amazon seller myself, who has been selling for 4 years on Amazon, I cannot stress it enough. Having a team has changed the game, and it's helped me grow my business from what was like a very, very low 6-figure business, now up to a very decent 7-figure business. And the value they bring to me is just immense in time saving, but also growing the business. And you know what? Obviously making more money. And that is why we are here. Now, the second thing which I'm going to really recommend to you is have systems, processes, and procedures in place. Now, to support your team and their day-to-day operations and their tasks, giving them formalized standard operating procedures, processes, and procedures is going to help you save time and money by improving efficiency. Your team can get more done in less time by following a very set procedure that's just going to help them understand what needs to happen every single day. And then you don't have to worry about those small operational things, allowing you to focus on the bigger picture. Now, my third top tip for you is to develop a calendar of, should we say, strategic updates. Now, this is quite simply an annual, quarterly, or monthly strategic update process. Now, I do this in my businesses. We have a monthly meeting whereby I am doing strategic alignment across the entire 3 companies, strategy, what we're doing, and what am I really doing. I'm just setting big goals and saying, how can we work towards them? What can we do? How can we help achieve them? And that is about, number 1, setting something big. Number 2, making sure that everyone's aware of it and we discuss it regularly. And then number 3, everyone is aligned towards common goals and we all know what we're trying to achieve. Now, having a regular meeting means that you can discuss that, and also you can avoid any problems and what needs to be addressed, and hopefully helping you achieve that massive goal, whether it be even 7 figures, the same as me. And hey, maybe come join me in Mexico. Absolutely fantastic. Now, what I will say is, going through, should we say, some of my plans for November and tips on working in your business, you might want to learn about how to be a successful Amazon seller. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll drop a video around here called Top Tips on How to Be a Successful Amazon Seller in 2021. Check it out. I think you're going to really like it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button down below. But for me, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.